How to file a Khula in America or the Canada? What is the procedure? Let's say she's living in Canada or the America and she is having a hard time. Let's say, for example, she went to the civil court and she got the divorce. Now she is being divorced in the local law, but as we are Muslim, we follow the law of the Sharia, which was prescribed by Allah, not by the human being. So we are obligated to follow Allah, not the human law. So accordingly, in the civil court, she got a divorce. Now she's living in Canada and she's living in America, and she's looking to see where do she has to file Khula, which is like an Islamic divorce initiated by the wife. So she contacted a local imam, contacted local council, and she find where the council or the Sharia board, they handle this kind of situation where she is being declared as she's being officially Islamically divorced. So the way the Sharia Council of America works, she contacted the Sharia Council of America, and she submitted her application paying the initial fee of a down payment, and she sent all the applications and all the affidavits and all her IDs and the evidences from the civil court and all these things to the Sharia Council that she's looking to file a Khula, and her husband is not cooperating. Even let's say he is not abusive, there is no domestic violence, there is not a physical threat or anything, but mentally for some reason she is not getting along with the husband. Like it could be financially, or it could be sexually, she is not being satisfied, or either she is not happy in that life. You going to the extent where she has to take a step to get a man to really live, because living that kind of life, it makes you psychologically, mentally illness. It makes you sick if you do not get out of that relationship. Like for example, a man has a need of sex, and also at the same time the wife also has a need of sex. So both of them needs each other for this. Let's say for example, he has a problem in intimacy, or she has a problem in intimacy and she's not satisfied with him, or it could be even a financial, she's not getting along, or even a mentally she's not happy and she doesn't like him or anything. But in a minor case, it is always recommended to sister to sacrifice, because maybe you will sacrifice, Allah will bless you more better in the hereafter. But on a minor things, do not make it to exceed your limit, that you're approaching a council or Sharia board that I'm not living under domestic violence, I'm not living under a threat or anything, but I do not like him. So that doesn't make any sense. Living on a minor thing is maybe if you don't like him, maybe he has some other good things. But there's some points where she does have to get out. Like she's not happy with him, she doesn't like him, or sexually she's not being satisfied, and she has a needs. Like Allah gives the right to the man as well as Allah has given the right to the woman also. So she does have the right. So in this matter, the husband is not cooperating, but they do not have a physical abuse, they do not have any domestic violence, but yet they don't get along with them. So he doesn't want to leave her. So she contacted the local Sharia Council of America, or she contacted local imam or local Mufti, and she tells them, okay, talk to my husband, please, I'm not mentally happy with him, so please let me go. So finally they come to the point, after arbitration and after mediation of the Mufti or the judge or the imam comes in the middle, and they try to negotiate with them, try to convince the wife to live with him and try to convince the man to live with him. But there is some point that the declaration has to be done actually, because in some points it is important to separate them. Like for example, in a sexual intimacy, she is not getting, because he has a sexually erection problem, or maybe he finishes off like in early time, so she's not mentally happy. She does have a need and he does have a need also, but there's just some points which is like an exceeded the limits, so she has the right to get out of that. Maybe she needs a different man, financially fit, or she needs someone with a sexually fit, but making this kind of thing, do not give the first priority, because maybe if you get married to another person, maybe he is more weakened than them, then you're not gonna approach the imam again. Okay, I'm not happy again, so I'm gonna go to the third one. So the third one comes with the same thing. So do not give the first priority to the intimacy, but give the first priority to always the first priority, respect, care, and the faithfulness and sincerity. You love each other, care about each other. There's the domestic violence, and the manners, the akhlaq is the best thing in the relationship. This is the first priority should be given in the relationship of a husband and a wife, rather than picking up on other things. Like, he is not rich, he is not sexually this and this and that. Give the priority to the love, akhlaq, and care about each other. But sometimes the situation comes like, she does have to get out, or else what is the outcome if you did not get out of the relationship? Maybe it could be husband also, not just like a sister. Like, for example, if she's not mentally and sexually satisfied, what's gonna happen? Her inner devil, her shaitan inside her, will take her away to looking at the non-mahram, by looking at something which is inappropriate, which is looking at something illegal, which is looking at something which is haram, and her mind is going somewhere else. Now she's using her own hand to satisfy her needs, and that is haram. But it is better to just get out of a relation, go find another person. It is better than doing a haram. So sometimes we come to the point where the one person has a strong hormones, the other person does not have a strong hormones. So they have to get out from the relationship. So if you do not do that, psychologically the person gets very mentally sick. Psychologically, someone does have a needs of an intimacy. If you do not do that, your mind, the shaitan takes your mind somewhere else. The shaitan will take your mind to look at the non-mahram. The shaitan will take you to look at some adult videos and use your own hand to satisfy your needs, and that is haram, because the Prophet ﷺ said on the day of judgment, the one who uses his hands, he will be married to his hand, because he doesn't need a partner, so he lose all the blessings of Allah. So sometimes we come to the point like the sister does have to get out from that. Let's say they do have a good relation and everything, but the woman has the needs. Now she approaches the imam, she approaches the mufti, and asks him like, what, this is the problems I have. I really need to get out, because he's a nice guy, he's everything, but I still have to get out because I have my own needs. So the imam or the mufti, he contacts the husband and tells him, this is the problems I have. This Islam doesn't allow to force someone to live with that, because she is not mentally happy with you, so you have to let her go. And now the situation comes like, he agrees that he is being forcing this. If he is a good Muslim, he would understand that he get convinced by whatever the imam said, whatever the mufti has said to him, that convinced him, and he said, okay, I let her go, I divorce her. So that the khula has been taking place. This is the procedure of the khula. It takes a little bit longer than the first nikah, because first nikah is basically based on evidence. It declares right away. But in the matters of a khula, it takes a communication between the husband and the wife together, put them together as the imam or the mufti. He works as an arbitrator to make sure the relationship continues on, because do not break a relationship on the minor things unless it is something very, very, very serious. Do not break the relationship by looking at somebody is happy and I'm not happy. Don't look at this. Whatever you have, say Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. What Allah has given me, Alhamdulillah. It is my taqdeer and I have to accept it, and I'll be happy with that. Because maybe sometimes our sister has a very good husband, but do not give the focus on something which is like a secondary or or the third stage, but give the first priority. If you're getting along on the basic necessities you are given, he's been providing as a love, care, and everything. You get along, love each other. That's a beautiful relationship. But there's some point, but there's some situation like you reach to the point where you really have to need on something. You need to get out from relationship, because else, if you do not do that, this is what happens. If you do not get out of the relationship, the shaitan will take you to the wrong doings, as it says in, I believe in Surah Isra, verse number 32, like La taqrabu zina innahu fahisha kanahu sabila. Where it says in Surah Isra, La taqrabu zina. So basically, if you do not get out of the relationship, maybe the shaitan will take you towards something a wrong doing. So better than doing the wrongdoings, better you get out of a relationship and you get along, talk to the matrimonial services and get remarried again. But I hope Allah makes it good for every sister and every brother. But do not file for a khula, do not file for the first nikah unless there are some serious matters. So the procedure of the khula is, you file a khula, you file the down payment, and you file all your petitions and information, and the Sharia counsel of the Imam of the Mufti will contact the husband and he'll talk to him. Okay, this is the problem we have, so you have the choice. Let's say it could be financial reason. So let's say that so recently we have a lot of cases comes up, and if the sisters have a financial problem, they also have a akhlaq problem, they also have a verbal abusive problems and some other problems, these problems and that problems. So we have to negotiate with them, and we have even came across with the cases where the sisters file the khula but end up getting together, apologizing each other. They are living a beautiful life. So it's always good to contact who specialize in family matters, who can arbitrate a good way, but rather than focusing, because this is some counsel, there's some people who just focus on the money. Okay, you know what, get the money, and who cares, you get a divorce or anything. But alhamdulillah, we have seen so many cases, and our first priority is to put the husband and wife together, but rather than separating. But even sometimes there's a point you have to make a decision, but on the minor things, do not break it. So alhamdulillah, we have so many cases came to the Sharia Council of America. We talked to them, alhamdulillah. But there's many sisters who came with the khula and they wanted to get separated. But alhamdulillah, because of working together with the both parties, with the defendant and the plaintiff, alhamdulillah, we came across with the ending point is they get together. Alhamdulillah, they sent a lot of du'as that we have not declared them the khula, but rather we put it together, and now they're loving each other, having a beautiful life. So this is the way, the procedure of filing a khula in America or the Canada.